remember the government shutdown all those days ago? 43 days long, the government frozen. Well, at the center of that fight was Obamacare subsidies that are set to expire at the end of this year.
That's right. 8 Democrats voted with the Republicans to end the shutdown with a promise of a vote on legislation to extend the subsidies. But that vote is no guarantee that it's going to move forward. This morning, we're joined by one of the senators who voted to reopen the government, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. Senator, before we talk health care with you, last time we were set to talk to you, you suffered a nasty fall, got some stitches. First of all, how are you doing, and what would you tell those concerned about your health?
Yeah, all all of the tests confirmed that man has a rough face. So yeah, now we're yeah, and I mean I don't think I needed the test, but no, everything's good. But thank you for asking. Yeah.
Good. So, all right, let's dive in. So there's this big vote tomorrow on multiple plans in the Senate, and we've got some information that we can throw up for our viewers at home. There's a Senate Democratic plan, the Schumer plan, if you will, a 3-year extension of those expiring Obamacare credits. And then there's a plan from Senator Cassidy, a doctor himself, that would redirect these subsidies to health savings account. We often hear Republicans talking about just giving money directly to folks out there and letting them buy the insurance that they need. Do either of those plans sit well with you? Do you know how you're ultimately going to vote tomorrow?
I think all three of them are effectively designed to fail. I mean, everyone that put them out, they all know they're not going to get 60. I do plan to vote for the 3-year extension because, yes, that would be ideal. That would be all of my 12 days of Christmas if they would agree for that. But we all know that that was DOA. And the other things with the small details and making all these changes, we have effectively like a week left, if that. You're not going to be able to achieve some kind of a breakthrough in the amount of time that's left. So for me, I want to make healthcare more affordable. And now I am suggesting that we just have a clean 1-year extension, just clean, and then now that doesn't require the Republicans to die on the Obamacare hill. And it also, as a Democrat, it provides extending that for at least 1 more year and making our healthcare more affordable. And that was the wish list for us. You referenced the shutdown. We would have voted to reopen the government if they had that too. So I think that's something that's the one elegant way that could meet all these kinds of issues that are in play, making things more affordable. Something now you could spend this upcoming year to make the program with more negotiation and have the appropriate amount of time to do that.
So you mentioned a clean 1-year extension. What if your Republican colleagues come to you and say, I'll vote for that, but we need to tighten some of these income caps in this bill? Would you be supportive of that?
Yeah, I mean, I hear that, and I'm not saying that's unreasonable. I'm saying I'm going to vote, and I'm pushing for the thing that'd be easy to pass given the amount of time that we have left. It's not ideal. That's not what we're asking for. It's not what they're asking for. They could just kick it to next year and provide that for the 400,000 people in Pennsylvania that rely on those kinds of a thing all across the country. And then for me, that's a Merry Christmas kind of an outcome rather than just voting all 3 down and now leaving for the holidays and they really haven't delivered any kinds of affordability for healthcare. I think that's the one way out at this point.
Senator, Republicans in the last 6 months especially have been very interested in your thoughts. So I want to ask for them about the health care subsidies. Are Republicans making a mistake with how they're handling these subsidies?
Well, I mean, yeah, some people that are listening not aware. These were designed to expire, at the end of this year by us, the Democrats. I wasn't in the Senate at that time, but when they were designed to expire at this year. So this isn't that they are taking it away. It's they would be allowing it to expire the way we designed that. Now, I think they realizing that, hey, we want to do that and deliver those kinds of a thing for their constituents too. And trying to figure this out, given all of the chaos and the flux, the easiest, most elegant way, just extend it with a clean extension of that, a clean 1-year one, and then that allows us to really, it's the one way that's possible given the amount of time that we have left.
So we'll see what ultimately happens tomorrow. Want to move on to the affordability conversation, which we should point out healthcare is certainly a part of. The president in your home state of Pennsylvania yesterday selling his economic message. He continues to call this affordability thing a hoax and say inflation is down and the economy is doing well. What are folks in Pennsylvania telling you about not just what they feel the economy is, but how it is actually impacting their bottom line?
Well, what I'm thinking, it's like the president could lead on affordability on healthcare. And right now, let's just do that. Let's just have a clean extension of those tax credits. It's not probably what he wants in it ideally, and it's not ideally what we as Democrats want of that thing. But that's the one thing that's easy to do, that accomplish right now with the time that's here left. If he really are committed to affordability, that's one that actually guarantees that all those other votes don't guarantee and almost guarantee there won't be any more affordability on healthcare. That's the one that I think we could all get behind, or at least enough 60. That's what we need. We need at least 60. And I would absolutely vote for that. And I'm actually championing a common sense way. Let's get this out of a rough year and deliver for America with these kinds of tax credits.
Senator, I want to ask you, looking ahead, you said recently that no one really knows who's leading the Democratic Party. Who do you think Democrats should turn to lead, especially looking ahead to the midterms to 2028?
I have no idea. We certainly don't have one. I think we should have a common sense message. I think we're gonna have to find a way forward after where we are now. And this is why I'm making a common sense argument about these tax credits right now. It's about, we are the town of compromise, and that's an elegant compromise at this point that allows us to meet all of our responsibilities to do right by our constituents. Definitely one of mine in Pennsylvania. I led the charge to help reopen our government. It was always wrong. That was a lose because we could have had the same vote guaranteed, and we didn't have to shut the government down for that. Here we are right now. Let's be serious. Let's be honest, and let's, put this out. And I'm willing to bet we could, absolutely, we could have enough votes to do that.
Speak on along those same lines. You were dismissive of chatter about potentially running for president yourself, or even re-election coming up, saying it's 2025 when you were asked about it. But as of today, we're just 3 weeks away from 2026. So what are you thinking about a re-election bid or potentially a White House bid?
It's like we're in 2025 and we're gaming out things that are years away, and for all of those things. We've got this vote right in front of us. Technically, ours is tomorrow, and I think it's also been announced that the Republican one is down too. They both are going to fail. They're not going to get the 60 votes, and God only knows what that's going to pass over in the House, or even what the president can get behind. I'm making a sincere message directly to the president. It's like, you were in my state talking about affordability. This is a way to do just that, and you can work with both sides to design that past the next 2026. And that's what I'm really focusing in right now.
Let's talk about these boat strikes in the Caribbean. Back in October, you crossed party lines, joining Republicans to vote down a measure to halt U.S. military strikes in the Caribbean. The September 2nd operation, the military carrying out that second strike, it's been under a lot of scrutiny. Do you think the full unedited video should be made public? And what do you make about the Trump administration's continued attacks on these boats in the Caribbean? And you even had the president yesterday saying, land strikes could be next.
I'm saying, sure, you release it. I'd like to see it. But for me, I'm not just, I'm not talking about trying to create a war with Venezuela, but I'm talking about, taking out these drug boats. We all agree that they were loaded up with drugs bringing to our nation. So for me, I'm less concerned with these kinds of small details. I think it's entirely appropriate to do something about 80,000 Americans are dying of overdose in the thing at this point. Let's release the video. I'd like to see it, but overall we have bigger issues at this point right now.
Do you have confidence in Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth? Would you, if you were advising President Trump, would you say to keep Hegseth in place?
I'm saying he is the Secretary of Defense, and that's a big, important job. And I'm not engaging and insulting him or calling him names. I'm saying, hey, we have to do an effective a way of finding a way forward to make us more lethal, make us more strong, and provide an entire. I'd love to pass the next NDAA with make these kinds of appropriate investments in our military. We all know that warfare is going to continue to evolve, and we need to stay on top of these things and not get caught up in small things, calling people names and gaming out those other things.
All right, Senator Fetterman, we talked about some really heady topics, some complex topics. We'd like to get you out on a bit of a lighter note. It is the holiday season. As you mentioned, yes, it is 2025. But have you even started thinking about maybe a New Year's resolution, or is there any sort of favorite traditions that you and your family have around the holiday season?
No, I mean, honestly, it's I don't really have any. I'm certainly looking forward to that. We've lost the magic in the house. Our youngest finally, someone figured out that Santa Claus, the issue. But no, I really looking forward to it. It's a special time of year. But I really would like to just end my time here this year with delivering those kinds of health care tax credits and then extending them. In my age at 56, it's not from Santa Claus, but I think we could come from all of us here in the Senate and just have 60 votes to do these things. That would be absolutely my Christmas wish at this point.
Senator John Fetterman, thank you very much. Enjoy the holidays and the new year.
We appreciate it.
You as well. Thank you.